I want to talk about countersinks. I've shown off this countersink quite a few times. It is a combination pilot hole and countersink with a stop. These are not exclusive to this brand, there are quite a few like it. I like this because it's simple, stupid to use. The advantage of the collar is that it's got a Delrin or HDPE or whatever it is stop on it, so you can't go any further and it doesn't mar the wood. So I primarily use 8-gauge screws like this guy here. So it always drives a perfect pilot hole and countersink for me, so it's quite useful. I'll show you how that works. So that is perfectly countersunk for the head of that screw, but it's left enough meat on it to engage the threads. Great. This type of countersink comes in a range of sizes. I think it goes as small as 6-gauge screws up to 12-gauge. They're not the cheapest, I think they're about 40 bucks each. So they're fine if you're doing just screws, but screws aren't the only thing to countersink. Sometimes you also want to countersink bolts. Now this is a teeny tiny socket head countersunk or flat screw, so I'd want a countersink for that. Being 8-gauge, this doesn't create a large enough countersink for the M6 screw that this is. So I've had a bunch of different countersinks over the years and most of them have sucked. A common type is this juicer style, that is, it's got 5 flutes, some of them are 4, some of them are 6, in a star sort of pattern, and they are, to put it politely, rubbish. I picked this up in a kit from Timbercon. There were like 4 different sizes and a handle so you can hand countersink. Problem is, these don't come sharp. This one's not too bad because I have sharpened it. Take a close look at this one. There's not actually a cutting edge on it. It's just all black and some dust, meaning it's got some sort of oxide coating on it. This one I have sharpened a little bit. You can at least see slivers of steel. So funnily enough, out of the box, these ones were rubbish. Even with sharpening, they're rubbish. And what makes them rubbish is that they don't leave a round hole. They leave sort of an octagonal hole. Some people say that you should countersink first, then drill your hole. It doesn't make a difference with these. Some say you should go nice and slow, others nice and fast with little pressure. It doesn't make a difference. Drill press, hand drill, doesn't make a difference. You can see I had to put in quite a lot of pressure, and that hole is far from round, particularly when you compare it to that one there. Hopefully a better angle of it there. So I've tried all sorts of sharpening. I've tried pilot hole first, then countersinking, then pilot hole. I've tried drill press at high speeds, low speeds, high pressure, low pressure. It doesn't make any difference. It just results in a rubbish hole. And it turns out I'm not the only one who has experienced that sort of problem with that style of countersink. It's sort of a known issue. They work well on certain materials, actually I don't know what they work well on, but they're supposed to work well on certain materials. Certainly not wood. So I thought, well, what other types of countersinks are there? And I came across these zero flute ones, or the O flute. A big hole in the center. So they don't actually have like a flat cutting edge. And this was recommended by Big Lines in the Discord chat room. So I picked up a set of these. You can get them at Bunnings from proper name brands like Sutton, and they'd be great quality bits. Except for the size that I wanted, I'd be looking about 30 bucks each, and I thought, well, I don't know if this will even work. So I picked up a set of 4 from eBay. A range of sizes, so they'll do a certain size range each. There is some overlap. So these set me back $15 including postage. So I don't expect them to be very good quality, but out of the box, well, out of the cheap plastic container they're in, these cut amazing. So I'll drill my pilot hole first. We're already getting that countersink with no pressure down, very little pressure down. That's a pretty good hole. It's a little askew because I'm off to one side as I'm recording this. And that's a pretty good hole there. I still need to go a little bit further down because I've got it skewed. Now what's quite telling about this type of countersink is it actually produces chips, shavings. Now the cheap one perhaps, doesn't clear the chips very well. But they're proper shavings, not just sort of sawdust or sanding dust and burnishing the hole. These actually cut. Now these zero flute style ones are meant for metal, but they will work on wood just fine, and they'll work on a range of plastics too. So I actually countersunk the holes on this flip stop I made. This is HDPE, and I was surprised at just how cleanly the chips were coming out and how quickly it was actually countersinking. So I know countersinks aren't a sexy subject to touch on, but hopefully that is enlightening for some of you. Thanks for watching.